Beaver with dwarfism, you could say. I'd probably just crash out horribly and loves getting scratched on the belly. Beavo's sniffing to him, basically just towing her around. And the baby wants a little bit of cheese. She's just exploring her new pond of all these little babies. Good morning, everybody. It's the end of the day now. And all of the grass is starting to come back alive. Look at this boy chewing on the weeds. The baby is the only person that'll eat these weeds, you guys. And as you guys can see, this field is nice and green because the sprinklers never broke over there. For some reason, the capybaras don't eat these. It's just the kangaroos. As you guys can see, the animals love using this pond. It's a really good thing that we got this. But Beavo is the only one that knows how to access the lodge. It's a secret underground hole. But it is cool to see beavers and capybaras just hanging out. I don't really show you guys a ton of footage of them just hanging out by the pond very often. But lately they've been really good about pooping in the woods over there and not pooping in here, which is so nice. Every now and then I'll see some floaters floating around. For the most part, it's nice and clean over here. This mama has done an amazing job of taking care of all these little babies. Every one of them is about at that age where they could be weaned technically, even though they're still gonna be drinking milk for a while. And I'm gonna start picking this cord grass for them a lot more often because it's free and super easy to do. And all my little animals need it. But eventually I am gonna go ahead and push these guys out of here in a second. I'm gonna put that little beaver girl out here. Hup, hup. Babies still don't really just jump in the water though. Oh, but they do get comfortable once they fall in. Oh, and look at that, you guys. It's a tilapia. I think the pond is starting to clear up a little bit more. And as you guys can see, these little babies are still clearly nursing. I'm sure these mamas are getting tired of being nursed on.
Hey, you're gonna be tired of me if you don't like this video.
But it really wasn't that hard to raise these little fellas, you guys. We didn't lose a single baby capybara this year. A runt I rehomed to my friend. Look at Boo Boo just attacking this thing. He loves licking on this for some reason. But all of this grass is slowly starting to turn green again. It all just died over there because the sprinklers stopped working for a month. Worst part is it took me this long to realize that they weren't working. I think I am gonna go ahead and bring that little baby over here and let her kind of swim around and see how they interact with these guys. Because I know all you guys are gonna be begging me for it if I didn't post it.
Look, you guys, his feathers are growing back. This poor guy, I think he got attacked by a dog or something. Or a coyote, and that's why he came in with a little bit of a broken leg, if you guys remember that.
Doing great now. I didn't know it was a boy until he started growing out his feathers. I thought it was a peahen. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this Beavo. Let's see the damage. Ooh, that's not too bad. Time to drain this. But she actually ate all the leaves on these. Look at that, you guys. All of these branches used to look like this. And I genuinely think this could just be a little beaver with dwarfism, you could say. So look at all those chickens. But yeah, you guys, and if that's the case and she is weaned, she's been eating like crazy. I'm monitoring her weight. And I suppose we'll see, but I'm still trying to get her to take the potty bottle. It's really hard to get an older baby beaver to start nursing. And the other rehabbers said they tried tube feeding her, but that just made her really, really anxious. And we don't want this precious little Beavo to feel anxious. But we do if she's losing weight and she's becoming emaciated, but I don't think that's the case here. She's as chubby as can be. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and put it. Whoa, what is that? That is a feral hog, you guys. Look at that. So weird, you guys. Look at that. Excuse me, creatures. What is that feral hog doing? Okay, watch out for that bee. Okay, there you go. Look at this little tail, you guys. It looks like this is the reason why these things are dead. Good thing those are just weeds, basically. But I am interested in seeing how this little baby reacts to these new boys. Keeping a close watch on them. Cool thing is, though, this baby beaver should be able to eat all of these. She's just exploring her new pond. Look at her coming up to me. Oh, beaver climbing on the rock for today. As you guys can see, all of these little cappies are also eating these things. They love stomping through here and munching on them from time to time. For some reason, all the cappies just came up to me now. I think they think that I have food, but instead I just have this precious little beaverton. It sure is a lovely day and a lovely place to be a little clappity blappity. So funny, they're scared of her. Why this fella is coming right up to me like this, I do not know. As you guys can see, we take good care of the creatures here, and this is a true loving little sanctuary for them. Uncle Ben may just be straight up farming these clappy blappies nowadays. But that ain't nothing I didn't promise to do. I think when Gort and Quandale Dingle were babies, I was joking about just having a farm and making a new channel called Uncle Ben's Clappity Blappity Factory. But as you guys can see, the beaver is hanging out with these cappies now. Clearly, they're already used to beavers, so they're not too scared of that little fella. And initially, I didn't want to introduce the beavers to the capybaras at all, but then I realized this is a species that introducing to a beaver is not in any way detrimental to their health. And oh, look at who just appeared, you guys. I think he just climbed right up the waterfall without me seeing him. Hello, Beavo. What is that on your forehead? And this guy does obviously love me very much, as you guys can see. That's why, at least for now, it's ideal to transfer them both together to a beaver rehab.
But look at that, you guys. They're getting so close to each other. Beavo's even, oh, Beavo's sniffing them. Oh, wow. Oh, she's scared of the big one.
I'll spend some time with your little sister.
That little fella loves hanging out with these guys. And I honestly think she'd be safe out here if it wasn't for her being so tiny.
Oh, look who loves getting scratched on the belly. This is crazy. It's the first time I've actually sat out here with him in a while. Hey, boo-boo. What is this boo-boo boy? Oh, and I can smell his... Yeah, I can smell that castor gland. Beavers have this really bizarre scent gland on their little bellies. Part of that they use to cover themselves with oil so they can float better. But they can also use it to attract other mates, just like this little guy was rubbing his scent all over that little hammock over there. And he does that because he's little and he wants a mate to come by. You guys remember All Things Wild told me that they had an Axis fawn that was a female, but it turned out to just be a white-tailed deer. And those things couldn't hybridize, and you actually legally can't have an educational ambassador white-tailed deer in the state of Texas.
Need to get special permits to have a whitetail as a pet.
And typically people don't do that at all unless they're farming them for meat or for hunting. In fact, people can actually sell deer seed. If you know what I'm talking about, they'll sell deer seed for like $2,000 a vial, which is actually insane. But look at this girl just sitting here on her tail. Oh my goodness. And as you guys can see, they're already comfortable with each other and the cappies. And at the end of the day, if you're gonna have a lot of grazing animals to take care of, the best ones you can get are cappies, because they love to eat the grass to a certain point where it's basically golf course length. But they don't eat it down to the root like a sheep would. But I really hope that this little girl grows up to be big and strong, and that her and Beavo have a very long and happy life together. And I pray that over them every day, or at least I try to. And if you guys are ever bored and looking for things to pray for, please think of my animals.
Because if these guys passed away and ended up being a tree like Big Ounce,
I'd probably just crash out horribly and quit YouTube. But a part of having animals and farming or doing rescue or sanctuary or whatever you want to do with animals is under... Oh, he just splashed me real good. Why did he do... Oh, she did that.
how did she even splash me that much?
But a part of it is understanding all these animals, including us, will eventually pass away. And thankfully, Boo Boo is still very, very sweet, just like the little fawn that we raised when he was a baby. And he tries to eat my hair. But we love Boo Boo very much, and hopefully he lives a very, very long time here on the ranch. It's awesome that these guys finally get to hang out together and they're not being cringe with each other. I'm gonna let them have as much supervised time during the day as I possibly can nowadays. Just like the one we got with an arrow sticking out of it, we're gonna rehome these guys to the other beaver rehab until they're older, so that these guys can have more beaver specific food to themselves.
But I tell you what, you guys, there ain't another rehab, especially a beaver rehab, that has a setup that's this nice for their little babies. Especially one with a pre-made lodge already.
These guys have their scent glands on their bellies. This guy is, I think, is by his nose here. And this guy's is right here. You see this weird little ball, you guys? This has its own little scent gland. And if you give it a sniff, it smells distinctly different. Oh, stop eating my hair. It smells distinctly different from the other animals. Look at this. Even though these guys look like they love me, I think they just want food from me. But I think I am their mama. Because we bottle raised this guy, and if you guys remember, we asked for prayer for him like 20 times because he had coccidia like 3 times.
Bro would just not stay healthy as a baby.
But look at this precious little fella. And even this little girl is using her little castor gland to cover herself with oil so she'll stay nice and buoyant. Precious, precious little creatures. Ooh, look at those.
This actually went from being a nasty dump filled with oil and tons of tires, like 400 tires, to now just teeming with precious little life and happily housing 2 precious little beavers. And as you can see, they obviously do eat this stuff.
Boo Boo won't stop licking my back. And just from hanging out with him, this little girl is gonna learn how to eat this stuff. Check that out. She says, "What are you chewing on? Let me see." Like I said, you guys, beavers hang out for 2 years, and it's really common for beavers to be friends with their older siblings from the year before. So this is basically the equivalent of a precious little girl sibling hanging out with her older brother. But it does look like she might be trying to nurse on him. I don't know why this little guy won't stop licking me.
Look, you guys, he's basically just towing her around. She's riding on his tail. Oh, look, he just popped up here.
And now I think Boo Boo is just rubbing his scent all over me. But these guys are very, very happy here. It looks like they're doing okay without the need for supervision.
I'm gonna go ahead and start herding these guys out of here pretty soon. Dang, we really just be having a whole army of cappies now. And Kumala's over there trying to make another army.
But this little guy started crying because he was the last one to cross the ledge.
And these guys love hanging out up here. That's crazy. This is just a tiny little baby beaver that cannot handle being rough and tumble. It's good that I'm still here to supervise him and keep him from being cringe. Look at his tail. It's good for him to be eating up a storm here, and I think he's actually doing that on purpose to make sure the water flows through here quickly. These guys are amazing little tiny engineers.
And they love doing everything they can to manipulate their environment to make things optimal for their comfort, like making slides.
But there's just a precious little Beavo who's very safe and sound down here. Even the baby wants a little bit of cheese today. Oh no! Oh, the baby says, put me in the video, Dad. But okay, guys, now this is quite literally paradise for a Beavo. They basically just hit the infinite food glitch. I'm not gonna be letting any of the other animals come in here until these guys are comfortable and full. But as you guys can see, obviously this little fella feels very comfy and safe in here. And yeah, I didn't put the bobcats in this video, and the dogs live on the porch and free range the whole property free time all the time now.
And Queen is the little protector of our whole farm now.
And both of my little tibbies, as you guys can see, are getting along now. And they're hanging out in here and eating a diet of primarily quail.
And I know you guys want to see the bobcats more, so in the next video, I'm just going to show you when we introduce them. Because I want to spend some time with my family. But I love you guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you.